Greetings and peace. I hope you and yours are doing well today, wherever you might be watching this from. Today's talk is going to be on the American job market, especially what we're dealing with now in the age of chaos from 2020 through 2029. The perspective that I see, someone coming from Pakistan in 1996, I see that time works in cyclical nature. The reason why we left our countries and come to the West is because the West not only destabilizes other places to the point where we have to come to the West for a better life, but over there you have a system where you can't get a job unless you know somebody. The education, healthcare, basic services, government services are like in a state which is abysmal, right? Where you really gotta make these people do their job instead of them actually being ethical and helping and doing the job that they're supposed to. So now what we're seeing is time now works in a cyclical nature. Now that decline is coming here in America. So if I asked my mother at that time, why did we leave that part of the world and came here? It was for those reasons because it was not a merit based society. You couldn't get a job unless you knew somebody, and all of the basic life needs and necessities and services were not in good condition. Now, fast forward to America in the 2020 through 2029 timeline. Now, time working in a cyclical nature, now that condition of the world is now coming to the Western world where you can't get a job unless you know somebody, right? There's overt racism and other parts which kind of not give people an equal opportunity, especially someone from Pakistan, right? They just want you to drive Uber, drive taxis, work at Dunkin' Donuts, 7-Elevens, gas stations, even though you might be qualified, but the system here does not let you get ahead. And yeah, the white people that work in corporate Dunkin' and 7-Eleven, they'll come and tell you what to do, but it's not them that's going to stand there 12 hours a day doing the labor. So them trying to kick people out of this country, right, even though they themselves never came here legally to begin with, they're going to find out the hard way because now the direction of the world is now going to the global south and to the east, and that includes Asia, China, the global south, those countries. So if you have a chance, because the job market here and the conditions are going to get worse and worse, if you have a chance within the next 5 to 6 years to, let's say, instead of applying for 500 jobs here and not getting a response, getting a sponsorship in a developing country, in a Gulf state, right? I mean, look at the Gulf states, right? They're taking over the American entertainment industry. WrestleMania, wrestling, the first time outside of America, it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. So it's all changing. If you can get a sponsorship or a work or a job or any business or whatever have you in those territories, the East, Asia, Global South, the Gulf states, you're better off doing that if you're able to do so. Or the Scandinavian countries, like, especially Denmark or Norway, not counting Sweden here. But yeah, mostly the Gulf states and the global south and the east. If you're able to make yourself better in some way within the next 5 to 6 years, that's what you should aim for. For America, since myself coming from that immigrant perspective, even though I have indigenous ancestry, we're normally taught to open our own business, right? Because no one hires you, so you kind of like do your own thing, you're self employed. So if you have no reason but, or you have no choice but to stay here, then having your own business is also a good model, something you're good at, services that you can provide to others. And I think having your own business is sometimes the best, where even if you do have a degree, you still have to get a job and be under someone's command and control. But having a business, you kind of have your own independence in your life. So that's something to aim for as well. And of course, it's all about who you know now. It's not about what you're qualified for and what degree you have. So focus on the networking if you got no choice but to stay here in the States. So I hope you benefited from my message in terms of addressing the American job market from the Pakistan perspective. Take care.